Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Sunday Night Live. My name is Kelley Farley. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Karaka, Auckland, New Zealand. I'm just trying to get this so that you can see. It's not really an easy one to kind of, but it's a box pop-up card, so it folds flat to go into your into a standard envelope. So I'm just going to see, no, okay, right, just trying to get on to the computer to see if anyone is there. I can't see the video starting. There it is. No, it's not. There's usually a delay on here from Facebook. No one. Hi, Lisa. Facebook's going to change stuff again, so I can't find anything. Home. That is home. Where is the video? There it is. Two people. We go. Let's see if I can make that bigger. Turn the sound off again. Hi, Angela. And carry on. Okay. Oh, you've got two little icons there, Lisa. Alrighty. Hope you're feeling a bit better tonight, Angela. No migraine tonight. So this is what I've called a box pop-up card. I've done them before and they've been kind of this height. So that bit there. So it's like a square and then it pops up. You could put a third one on. Hi, Alison. You could pop a third one on the back here as well if you wanted to. But I decided that I just wanted to do two. And since doing this, I've seen that you could actually do one so that one is like that height and one is a shorter height. So you've got lots of different options with that, with this card. So let's get started. Now in the directions I put that you needed a piece of half an A4 portrait. Actually, it's actually landscape. Whoops. So half of the portrait piece, so if you cut it in half there you end up with an A5 landscape. And then you needed two pieces of the A4 width cut to 2 7/8, and then oh, I'm pleased to hear that because there's nothing worse than a migraine. I'm feeling really rotten. Right. Let me just move my light a bit closer. I've had a little bit of a rearrange on my desk and now I don't think that my light is strong enough. So let me just, oh, now it's creating lots of shadow. Now it's gone warm light. That's probably the best I can do. Alright, if I turn it that way maybe, might be a better. Okay, I'll move it up a little bit too. Okay, so what I found was you end up with a little extra piece which could be enough for a third stand if you want, but I actually found it easier to, afterwards I thought, oh gosh, you should just use a whole A4 and then cut it, score the whole A4 because all the score marks are the same, and then cut the pieces that you need. So that's what we're going to do tonight. Hi Andrea. I'm going to lift this up a bit higher so you get a wider view hopefully. Hi Catherine. Thank you for joining us tonight, ladies. Alright, so what we're going to do is I'm going to score this whole piece of A4. I'm really disliking the fact that you can see part of my, or the corner of the desk. I'd rather that not be in view, but never mind. So we're going to, where have I put my instructions? So this is what we start with a piece of copy paper. And that's right, that's just reminded me what our score marks are. So we get our, hi Mary, we'll get our our cutting blade out of the way at the moment. We're going to just use our scoring blade. I like to score from the other end because it means that if I push it's pushing against the ledge here rather than dragging it back out of the way. So I just have a little bit of a space issue with my stand here, so if I can just turn it the other way, never mind. So first score mark is 2 inches. Alright, so nice and straight against the ledge. Oh, that thing keeps getting in the way. Alright, 2 inches, score the whole length of the card. Alright, move down to 4 inches. Score the whole length of the card. 6 inches. Now, if you have one of our trimmers, it's a little bit hard to see 6. This is 6 inches here, but this little ledge, if you leave it in place, you butt that right up against it, is 6 inches. Alright, just a little tidbit for you to think about, instead of having to try and find that little tiny arrow and find the 6. So if you pop that in there right up against that ledge, that is 6 inches, and then we'll just open it up and we want to go to 8 inches. Now that gives us a little tiny 1/4 inch on this side. Alright, I know it's really hard to see, so I'll try and hold it in the light. I don't know if that's showing. So we're at 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay. Hi Sylvia. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop this in, and we're going to cut our standard A5, which is, if you are using metric, it's 14.8, 14.9. If it is inches, it's 5 7/8, or thereabouts. Or you might find it easier to go 5 1/2, 5 3/4, up to you. So that is your base. Then using this other piece here, we're going to cut these at the measurements that I said you needed 2 of. So it's 1 7/8. Alright, so we're going to go the width of the card, 1 7/8. You could, if you want to make it easier for yourself, hi Maureen, if you want to make it easier for yourself, go to 2 inches. You just it'll just be a tight fit in here, okay? So which is why I brought it down just a little bit, so that you can see that there's a gap. Otherwise your pieces will sit right on that score line. Might be a little bit harder to kind of join everything up. So 1 7/8 is 2 lines before the 2 inches. Alright, so pop that in there, remember, against the side of our trimmer, so that we've got it nice and straight and even, and we want 2 of those. I've cut enough DSP for 2 of those. You could cut an extra lot of DSP because you will get 3 out of it. Alright, so you will get another one like that. You just trim off another little bit. Let me show you. Alright, so you'll get that bit there. So with your A4, you'll get your card base part and 3 pop-out boxes. If you wanted to, which I probably could have done, like I mentioned at the beginning, I have seen where this one here is actually the pop-out box, which is that tall, okay, which means that you just cut this taller, so to fit it in. But or you could pop, this is obviously really roughly done, you could put a 3rd one if you can get it to stand up properly. You could pop a 3rd one on so that you get that little shape there, okay. And if you wanted to do that, then you just need an extra set of your DSP. So instead of cutting 6 pieces, you would cut 9. Alrighty. So let's start with our pieces here. Let me pop this over here again for you. So we've got our width of our piece here is 1 7/8, and the height of these pieces is actually 2 inches. So you could, if you wanted to, just keep this one at 2 inches, cut it off and then score the other half at 1 7/8 by 1 7/8, so you've got an even square. And then you could, because this ends up being a little bit of a rectangle, and then it would make, you could then put your DSP on, which is in a square as well. Okay, lots of different ways that you can adjust it to make the measurements easier for yourself. And as you ladies are aware, I'm not as, you know, I should be. I've grown up in New Zealand all my life, but all my card making stuff, when I've watched videos and things, I find now easier with inches, even though I have to adjust them slightly for our A4 card, because the US letter card is slightly a different shape, which is why most things call for things at 4.5 by 11. So we've got one of those and one of these. How's everyone doing tonight? We've had rainy weather all day, so it's been a nice day to just sit on the couch. I watched a really interesting series on Disney, which I was gonna go, oh yeah, nah, this is not for me, but we watched the whole series. So there was 7 episodes, and it was called, oh, I knew I was gonna get this wrong, Under the something of heaven. And yeah, it was fascinating. It is in R16. There's a little bit of, it's not a horror or anything, but it is based on a true story, which is even more frightening. But I found it really interesting because it was about people in the, yeah, that's a good plan, Lisa. Piper was in bed most of the day because she just didn't want to get out of bed. Man, Andrea, you must have so much pumpkin soup there. Now you'll be ready, rocking for it to be going. Okay, so what I also did in the instructions, I'm glad you had some sun. Oh, that's good to get 2 lads out. I just don't bother putting it outside anymore. Because in Auckland, it rains and then it finds up. So you put it outside and then you put it outside and then 2 minutes later it's raining again. So just put it in the dryer. Hubby's he puts his on an era and it's out for 2 days and then it gets dry. So I put here white or light coloured card, which is 3 3/4 by 5 5/8. So that is if you were to put it on here. And then I was putting mine together and thought, oh, you pillock. You actually can't put a piece on the back like that, because when you open your card, it needs to actually open in a box. So this actually needs to be cut in half. So half of 3 3/4, if I remember correctly. I want to say 1.5, but no. We go this way and I want to put it just above there. So it is, yeah, 1 3/4. So if you if you cut it like this, because you find it easier to do that, then you want to cut at 1 3/4. Because oh, see, I should have done that anyway, because your block panels are 2 inches wide, so that gives you that half an inch. And I cut this a bit big, so 1 3/4. I'm just going to trim that. All right, and then that should be 5 5/8. Yep. Okay, now it is just decorating. I have used one of the black and white pieces in the current annual catalogue. Oh, that was smart, Kelley. No. I like, when I'm making something that's a bit more 3D, I like to use double-sided tape on my joins. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn them over so that I've got all of them the right way, and pop some tear and tape right along the edge. Now you want to put it it's going to get tucked under, so you want to put it on the outside piece. Alright, and that's fine until you have decorated it and then put it together. If you put the tape on first and then decorate it, if you put it on the wrong side, it's not actually going to make too much difference because you can just flip it over. Alright, so just a couple of bits of, and I actually am going to decorate mine flat. These two center panels are my panels that I'm going to put my Designer Series paper and my two pop-up pieces on. Right, the two back pieces are actually the outside pieces here, which means that my seam will be always at the back. Alright, so so what I've got here is two pieces of DSP. You could use DSP, or you could use some coloured card or some white card and do some stamping on with a stamp set that you liked. I'm going to pop that, and I actually cut it so that they connected. I feel like I don't think there's a right or wrong way, but to me it looked a little bit upside down. So we're going to pop this, and I'm really sorry, I know it's hard to see on black and white. I'm going to pop that with a small border at the top, and then this space here is for my pieces. Now, because our score marks are 2.5 or 2 inches this way, but this is not quite 2 inches, I'm going to fold it so that my pieces, it's going to go on my box this way. Alright, so this very bottom piece is going to be one of the Designer Series paper, this piece and this piece. So the piece at the back that is going to join onto your piece, your little tab, is not going to have Designer Series paper on, because that is the piece that is going to be glued on to your card, like so. Alright, so let me show you. So just to make sure I've got that right, so the bottom 3 segments are going to be our Designer Series paper, and I've actually decided to put 3 different patterns on, although I can just use, because some of them are the same. So I've got 2 of that, 2 of that, and 2 of this one. Alright, and I could go spots, I could go leaves, although I've kind of cut them so that they don't really make sense, or to little tiny. Now I quite like the stripes, and I've actually cut them so that they go up and down. In fact, I've cut all of these the wrong way, so they go that way. So I'm actually going to use that one. Yeah, and then the spots are going to go on the bottom. Alright, so we've got, it is a bit hard to, even it's hard for me to see, stripes, flowers, dots, because I don't know about you, but my mother always said you don't put dots and stripes together, so not that means that you have to listen to anything that my mother says. But and then, do I want dots at the top? Because this one here, remember, is this one here. So when it's folded flat in the envelope or lying on the table, that is the part that you're going to see. So do I want dots and dots, or do I want dots and then my flowers on this one here? And again, I've got, I'm using up my 6x6 shear, so I've tried to just fit. I think I'll leave it like that. I think that's what I'll do. I'm just going to bring it down a little bit, hopefully not too jiggly, because it feels a bit high. Dots and flowers, thank you, Alison. Yes, I like dots and flowers too. So I'm wondering if you ladies think the camera is a bit better than it has been previously, or whether it actually isn't that noticeable. I've got a new phone and I just wondered if it's made any difference. I think it has, but I don't know, because I'm only watching it on a little screen. I know some of you put it up on the big TV to watch, so I don't know if it makes a difference or not. So just popping that on, remembering to think about the orientation to make sure that you've still got that little border all the way around and not just have stars and then their stripes. They do. It's like, it's funny little wives' tales, eh? Because she used to say blue and green should never be seen, and often you can see some really nice clothes that are blue and green together. So, you know, very old. I knew what you meant. Yeah, because I grew up thinking, oh no, you can't wear blue and green together. So, but actually you can. Right, there's my edge, and I've gone a little bit too high. Not that it's going to really matter too much. So let's just give these a nice little press down so that they're not going to move. And then these ones. Thank you, ladies, for participating in the cards last week, Wednesday and Sunday last week and Wednesday this week. Some very pretty cards. Thank you very much. It's perfect crafting weather this weekend. Mind you, it's perfect binge watching movies, TV. Oh, sorry, that was out of your shot. I was just straightening it up. All right. Okay, so we'll just put those, make sure they're in place, not moving around too much. Then we can pop these on. Make sure you kind of get into the corners a bit. How are we going for time? Alright, so put it up about there, which gives me a nice kind of border all the way around. Now, where's my flower? There. It's just lining this one up here, and there's our leaf there. Although maybe not. Is it that one? Huh. Don't know what I did there. That doesn't line up. Funnily enough, Piper wears a pinny, but she doesn't know it as a pinny. She knows it as an apron. But yeah, that's only because I think because Matt's a chef and he has aprons all over the place. But no, they wouldn't know what a pinny was. I mean, you could ask him if he knows what a peg apron is. My God, they wouldn't know what that was either. All right, so the easiest way to put your boxes together is to lay the two center pieces on the table flat, put your bottom piece with your little tab on down first, and then you can get your tape off so that you've got that exposed, and then just fold your piece over and it will fit nicely and it'll keep it nice and square. Okay, and then so two center pieces, doesn't matter which way your tab is. If you're left-handed, do it the other way, do it this way, because then that makes more sense. But I'm right-handed, so it makes more sense for my brain this way. But there's no right or wrong. Alright, so pop that down. Alright, so remember so you can use double-sided tape, or I feel like I've moved you too far forward now. Double-sided tape or glue. I'm just going to use some glue. Before I glue it on though, I'm going to pop these two pieces down before it gets too bulky, and then pull that off. Put that down like so. Alright, so then we're ready to go. And then we're just going to decide. I like to have, where is it? I like to have my join. Now I don't know how well you can see that. That little join there. Can you see that? Not really. Yeah, there we go. I had it and now I moved it. So anyway, where your tab comes in, I like to have that sitting at the bottom. Alright, so that's just a reminder if you've forgotten which way you put your box together. So some glue. If you're using glue, you're just going to have a bit of patience and hold it there for a few minutes. So keeping your piece flat, you're going to pop this on. Where is it now? Oh yeah, there. So the tab is facing the back. I'm just going to line that up with the bottom. Line it up through the middle of both of those. And I like to just line it up with my, just when it's sitting down, that the DSP is all lined up as well, so it looks like it kind of is a continuation when it's sitting down. So just hold that in place for a few minutes. While I'm doing that, I'll put glue on the next one. Remember to make sure you get it in the corners. So I need, what have I done? Oh yeah, no, that's right. I thought I put them on the wrong way, but I hadn't. So we're just going to sit that on there like so. Line the two at the bottom up. And then just hold both of them. If you wanted to, you could put something heavy on top of it so that it keeps it nice and flat. Like so. And that is our pop-out box. So if you put another one on, you could get in, you could just repeat what you've done here with the DSP. You could actually go all the way around. It's not something that a lot of people use anymore, a penny, is it? So what I've got here is my two pieces of card, and I have some paper, but I don't know what I've done with it. Some scratch paper. Let me just find it. And here we go, because I'm going to do some Me Too and Your Way. You are youngish, Lisa. Alright, so I'm just using the Forever Fern. Quite like these, and I like the distinctive design on them, which makes them kind of look textured. And I just put hello on it. And what I did with that is just used a piece of, so I put a piece on here, no I didn't. A piece of offcuts that I'm going to use. So let's do that first. I'm just keeping it mono black and white using Momento. That's good that you've got a backup. Someone there knows what you're talking about. Makes it a whole lot easier when people look at you strangely and go, what? So I'm just going to hand cut around these, so it doesn't matter how close they are, because I don't want to have I just am going to, actually I could trim that. It's a shame, isn't it, that all of these things are not really kind of kept on, because pennies are very useful, especially when you are messy, It's a good thing my husband wears one when he cooks. Not at home, but when he's cooking at work. It's a whole lifesaver. Alright, so that's ended up being a bit crooked. I should have just done it by hand, but it's much easier to cut the 3 separate words out from one long strip. It's much easier to stamp on one long strip than it is to do it on little tiny ones.
Do you want to try some?
Not at the moment.
Dad says I can't have any because I had a slushie today.
Oh, well that's a shame.
Yeah.
Didn't think about that. Have you tried it?
Yeah.
Is it good?
Yeah. It's not fully thickened yet, but I put it in a container.
Oh yeah, cool. Piper's just made homemade chocolate sauce. I think my grandma had her smokes stashed in it. You're probably right, Catherine. They probably did. I think my grandma used to stash her smokes in their penny pocket too.
It's on the bench in the big container.
Okay, thank you. Bloody child comes in at like 7 o'clock and says, "Can I make some? I want ice cream and chocolate sauce, but we don't have." Oh, that's cute, Lisa. But we don't have any chocolate sauce, so can I make some? And then her father says, "Oh, you're not having ice cream because you already had a slushie today." Whoops. Oh, now she's got it for tomorrow. Alright, so one side, you could do it however you like. One side I'm actually just going to add some leaves and my sentiment on it. And this little bubbly thing is quite cute as well. Just start there. Down a bit. Maybe a little bit there. And I put on this one to a friend who makes me smile, which is quite a nice little sentiment. I'm going to pop that there. So if I pop it like that, it'll be in the right place. And hopefully straight. So that is for one side, and then this one I'm just going to pop one of these down the bottom just to kind of link it, but give you space to write on as well. Alright, 8:03, sorry ladies, dragging my feet a bit. So I'm going to pop this on, I'm going to put this one on here. Did anyone pop their card up after 5:30? That was when I looked at it before. I think Alison's, it was when Alison put hers up. So otherwise I think I've got everybody's cards from this week. But if you popped it up after 5:30, please let me know, because Facebook doesn't always give me notifications for comments as easily and as quickly as what they used to. Alright, so that is the back of our card all finished. If you wanted to use the bigger piece and stamp it first and cut it down the middle, you could do that too if you wanted that continuity across the centre. Right, so that's our finished card. I'm going to pop hello. It looks really big, looks really tall, but it fits in a standard envelope, so you don't need to worry too much about that. What I am going to do is, because I haven't got any minis in my tray, I'm just going to cut some of these down. have cut them a bit narrow, but you might got them on there. You could, if you've got the foam adhesive strips, they will work really well on here too, because they're not too thick and you get a whole kind of piece. So I'm going to pop one there. Should have done that in the first place. And one there. Yeah, and the last one, because you know you can say it 3 times. Sounds funny if you go hello, 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 hello. Sounds a little bit better, doesn't it? It's like hidey hi. Alright, and this one I'm going to pop on the front here. So there, so when it opens, there's 2 there, but when it is sitting down flat you can still see it as well. Alright, let me get rid of some stuff so that I don't get myself covered and everything when I flip the camera around. Depends if they're deaf or not. Ha 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 ha. Yes, Andrea, very clever. Well, I think if they are, then they might need it written down for them on a beautiful card. Okay, I've turned all the lights off. That's pretty useless. The heck, like Rookie. Okay, so let me find the page. So here we go. I've got Andrea, Catherine and Sally did Sunday night's card, and Andrea and Alison did Wednesday night's card. Thank you very much, ladies, for those that had a go. Good luck. Please do let me know. I can't see anyone that said they've added it after 5:30, so good luck to you. First one is Catherine. Yay! That's nice, Catherine, because it's been a while, so it's nice that you might sort of motivate you to do some more sharing or some more crafting, because I know life gets busy, doesn't it? All right, I'll take that out, and the second drawer is Alison. Woohoo! Thank you, ladies. Catherine and Andrea, are you okay if I put your prize, Andrea's prize from last week and this week's prize in the same bag? Hopefully that's all right. I don't know what this is going to look like, ladies. I did a lovely job of straightening my hair, and then we had fog and rain, and now it's not so lovely. So thank you for all participating and joining in. Hopefully that's okay with you. Oh, good. Thank you, Catherine, because I haven't got around to posting yours yet, Andrea, so I'll post them both at the same time. Catherine, I'll send you some goodies to choose from, and Alison, the same for you. I'll send you some goodies to choose from that, then we'll send them down to you. No, it takes ages it took ages for my hair to dry on Thursday night when I washed it, that's for sure. I think I went to bed with it a bit wet. Yeah, so thank you very much for sharing, ladies. That was really awesome. Hopefully you will have a go at doing this one and it's not too stressful for you. Let me know if you have any questions. Do have a look on my page. I've posted some information about Celebration and some new items. There are a couple of things that are getting close to being sold out, if not sold out. So it goes till the end of the month. Also, if you are interested in any of the classes that I've got going, they can be done online, which means that you will get videos to do them and a card pack sent to you. The videos will be exclusive for 1 month on my YouTube channel, and then after a month they'll be available to everybody. So you will still be able to do them, even if you can't do them in the 1 month within the month. Like if things happen, I know life happens, but they'll still be available to you to go on and have a look on my YouTube channel if you want to. Yeah, get in touch with me if you have any questions, and let me know if I can help in any way. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you have a really enjoyable week. Bye for now.